Hey YouTube, standing in the back of my house. You might notice this large pile of leaves and branches and such. I'll explain that in just a few moments. But I really want to show you how it's raining right now. I mean, it's coming down okay. I wanted to show you the rain is because I was just out here a little while ago. I was absolutely soaked. I just got out of the shower. I had to work out in the rain for about an hour or so, and it was actually coming down a little bit heavier than this. What happened is I woke up this morning and it was pretty nice. I knew it was going to rain today. But I thought, well, I'm going to work 3-11s this week, and it's my last day off. I really needed to get my yard whipped into shape so that way my neighbors don't complain. And, you know, I want to take pride in my yard and such. So, of course, I break out the lawnmower, and I go out there and I start mowing. And I look up, and lo and behold, I notice that I have tons of vegetation growing out of my gutters. I have two pretty decent-sized trees, and they put out these little seeds. And they're kind of fun for kids, you know, they throw them up and they spin, but they happen to clog your gutters pretty fierce. So, of course, I decided, well, it's going to rain a lot today and over the next few days. So, the prudent thing would be is to climb up onto the roof and clean them out. And, of course, it starts raining while I'm on the roof. Well, while I was on the roof, I noticed that the trees, the branches were actually growing to the point where, once again, they were dragging against the rooftop. Let me show you. And under the eave so that way the camera won't get wet. But you notice this gap right here. This whole gap had all these branches, you know, growing onto the top of the roof. So I cut as many as I could away. Actually, I got them all off. But the reason that's important to do is because those branches here, they will sway with the wind and they will rub the shingles. And they will destroy the shingles, cause them to erode much faster than they should, and before you know it, you have, you know, major roofing problems. There, I noticed this gutter was totally clogged and was not allowing it, so I had to cut it away here, stick a garden hose up, and clean it. And I have a basement, so I want to direct the water away from the foundation. Simple task ended up being quite complicated. I'm mowing the grass. I noticed the gutters. I get up there to clean the gutters. I notice the downspouts are clogged. I noticed that the tree will need to be addressed very soon, so I figured might as well do it now. Trim all that stuff, clean it all. Then I realized, hey, you know, I still have to modify the gutters, redirect them, and I still need to clean the yard from all the debris that I've thrown down. So it turned into a much larger task. And you know what, at some point, a couple points, I was like, you know what, this is just too much stuff. I don't feel like doing this. It's raining. I was looking for any excuse not to do the job. But then I told myself, you know what, it's just water. You know, that's why God makes our skin waterproof. You know, I might as well go ahead and get it done. And sure, I did all that work in about an hour and a half. It wasn't much. You know, I'm glad that I did it. Now I can relax for the rest of the day, go into my work week, and know that it's taken care of. The only thing I need to do is mow my backyard, and I'll probably squeeze that out, you know, later on this week. It's not a big deal. You know, but I looked at the task, and it became a little bit more than I had anticipated. And I wonder if our Christian lives are often like that. You know, sometimes things build up on us. Our sin builds up. And once we decide to clean ourselves up before God, we realize that the task is quite monumental. There are too many things in our life, whether it's pornography, lying, stealing, cheating, adultery, or, you know, little things such as downloading music and cursing and maybe not paying attention to our family and kids and such. And we realize that, man, these little things have really stacked up. What do? Well, we do like I did today. First you mow the grass and you get that done. Then you address the gutters and you do that. Then you do the downspouts. Then you do the tree. One job at a time. Funny thing is, a few months from now I'm going to be up on the roof cleaning the leaves out of the gutters in preparation for winter. And then I'm going to be mowing the grass again next week and trimming the trees again next year. So it's an ongoing process. Just like combating sin in our lives, we need to continuously check ourselves, make sure that we are not sinning against our Heavenly Father's laws and His will. Now, one thing we want to make sure of is that we don't allow the sin to stack up in our lives. Let's not wait till the task is too monumental, because what happens? We tend to give up and walk away and say, you know what, it's just not, I don't have the strength. It's just not obtainable. to be able to get rid of all the sin in our lives? Well, remember, I have to get up on the roof and clean the gutters. I had to do all that work. But when it comes to sin in our lives, Christ helps us. We do have assistance. It's just not you up there on the roof doing all that work. You have God. And God does promise us that He will help us. He will convict us. And He will give us the strength to glorify Him in all the things that we do. So, look at your life today. Clean the gutters of your life. Mow the grass. Take care of all the things that you need to do. Start with the simplest ones first. Now, some of you may say, well, Jesus Freak, you're talking about works now. You're advocating works. Certainly. Absolutely do advocate works. Works do not get us into the kingdom of heaven. But a Christian life without works, I would say, can't be a Christian life, is it? The Bible teaches us faith without works is dead. Do we want to be a Christian that doesn't have works? No. But we don't want to depend on our works for salvation. Jesus Christ is salvation. Our faith in Him is what brings us to salvation. God's grace is our salvation. So, like I said, don't count on your works, but make sure you have some. Make sure that you're glorifying God with all the things that you do, and don't let the sin stack up in your life. Trust me. Once you get behind the 8 ball, it's a very monumental task. God bless. Final thought here. Had I not have cleaned the gutters and taken care of everything, I would have cost myself a lot of money in the long haul. Sure, I could do like some people do, and I could leave the gutters packed year after year after year. What happens is the ice builds up in the gutters in the winter, and it starts ripping the gutters off. It tears the fascia. The water backs up into your soffits. It corrodes the wood. Next thing you know, you're cutting back, your eaves and such, and you're replacing those at the cost of thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Your roof, you're neglecting it, and you have to replace the shingles prematurely, which costs a lot of money. All types of problems can arise from negligence. And sin is the very same way. We can be negligent, and we can fail to recognize when we're slipping back into the old self. Maybe we start swearing a little bit more, and we don't address it. Next thing you know, we're swearing like a trucker, at a convention, truckers convention. You're swearing like a sailor, and next thing you know, we're involving pornography into our lives, or whatever sin that we have. You see, by neglecting our spiritual state, we are inviting sin back into our lives. And then when we decide to recommit ourselves to our Heavenly Father, it becomes a much harder task. Don't get me wrong, God's there for us and He helps us and He's able to see us through. But I would rather live by the philosophy of address the sin as it comes into your life. Get rid of it. I think that's the easiest way to go about it. God bless you, each and every one of you.